Creative Writing Advice with me, JJ Barnes. If you don't know me, I am the author of How to Write a Story. I've also written other books, fiction books, as well as having a film in production and a TV show in production. Over here on YouTube, I am giving you advice that I have learned over my years as a writer, hoping to bring it to you, referencing pop culture and things like that to help you become a better and more confident writer. And let's get some more stories into the world. So today I'm going to be talking to you about how to keep your story moving forwards. Because sometimes if your story gets stalled, you as a writer will start to feel blocked and restricted because you can't make your story work. And if you leave it like that, your audience will feel that it's slow, that it's tedious, and that nothing is happening. So keeping your story moving forwards towards the climax is a very important part of your writing. But how do you do it? So one of the key factors to keeping your story moving forwards is having an active conflict in every single scene. And that means at no point in your story until the very, very end can every character have exactly what they want. As soon as they have what they want, their story has been told. So your story is taking your protagonist and following them on their journey to getting what they want. Your inciting incident, which I've talked about before, is when your character transitions from a passive character, just living their life, into an active character. And that is when they start to pursue the thing that they want, whether it's something to change their life or circumstances, or if it's to stop something negative happening that will damage their life and circumstances. You follow them on that journey. The antagonist comes into motion at the same point, which is when they are becoming the thing that tries to stop your protagonist from getting what they want. And we've talked about this before, but I'm just going to cover the bases again so that we're all on the same page. Your story follows them from that moment, the inciting incident, in pursuit of what they want. So if they have what they want, the story is done. The story is told, and you can't let that happen until the end. Now, ideally, every single person in your story will be as active in pursuit of their goal as your protagonist and your antagonist. Because the more characters you have that are motivated, the better your story will be, the more interesting it will be, and the better your characters will be. So that is something you want to aspire to. You want every character, essentially, to be the protagonist of their own story, which means they are all in pursuit of a goal. So, as long as everybody is in pursuit of a goal, your story is going to keep moving forwards. Now, at different points, your story will move faster and move slower. So you focus that in the interiority, the POV of that character. If they are focused, strong focus on their goal and their motivation, and they want to get from this point to this point, your scene will move faster because your character will be focusing less on their feelings, the surroundings, the atmosphere that they're in, and they will be focused headstrong on getting their goal. In the slower scenes, when, say, they're having a romantic picnic or it's a love scene, so they are taking time to explore one another's bodies, things like that, the conflict will be slower because they're going to be, their interiority and their feelings will be more focused on description, on feelings, on emotion, and putting that in. And that's fine, but the scene will be a bit slower. And you want to make sure that not every single scene is slow and not every single scene is fast. You want to keep a bit of variety in, but they always have to be in pursuit of a goal. Every single character should have something they want and something they are driven to try and get. Now, the scene level conflict can be something smaller. It could be, what restaurant do we go to? It could be, I want to kiss this person. So not necessarily a big, dramatic, overarching conflict, but there should be something. Now, your protagonist and your antagonist will always be driven by the overarching conflict, whatever it is they want, to find treasure, to take over the world, to rescue somebody from the bad guy. Whatever it is, that should be their main motivation at all points. They should be moving towards that at all points. But there are times they will be less driven to it, which, as I say, will be your slower scenes. But characters in the scenes around them, so your peripheral characters, they don't necessarily have to have a big arcing story goal. And if they do, that is great and it's interesting. But it might be a bit difficult to get that all the time into everything. But they can still be driven, they can still be moving the story forward, they can still be disagreeing or pushing for something or wanting something and trying to get it. Even if it is just a snack. the conversation is happening and your character, one of them is like, look, this is a great conversation, but I have to go eat. And then they get dragged back into the conversation and that's still going on and other people's conflicts are active, but they still want to go eat. And that's fine. Like, it doesn't have to be something big and important and serious all the time, as long as there is goals that people are being driven towards. As soon as everybody has what they want, as soon as the conflict has been resolved, your story has been resolved. And you'll lose people's attention because, okay, so why are we still here? Your story will be over too quickly if you let everybody get resolved too quickly. So you have to keep the antagonist in motion. As long as your antagonist is always in motion, every push your protagonist makes, every time they make a step to get what they want, your antagonist needs to be pushing back against them. And it's that push back and forward that will keep your story going. From the moment of the inciting incident, everybody needs to be pushing for their goal. And those goals will be conflicting. As I say, your protagonist is pushing, your antagonist is pushing back. Keep them pushing, keep them bumping heads, keep them motivated, keep them driving the story forwards. Don't let them just sit around and see if anything happens. Don't let them just be experiencing things around them. They need to be pushing your story forwards at all times. And that journey, that is your story, that is your conflict, and that is how you keep your story moving forwards. You keep it active and interesting. You will hold your audience's attention. And your story will just be so much more entertaining. Seeing people do nothing and wanting nothing and not being motivated to achieve anything is not entertaining. So don't do it. Keep them pushing. I always say this, there's a reason you're jumping into your characters' lives at this moment and not some other moment, and it's to watch them try and get what they want. As soon as they've got it, your story is resolved. And that's fine. It has to happen at some point. But until then, they're always pushing. Thank you very much for watching another one of my videos. I hope this has been helpful to you. Let me know in the comments what you are doing to keep your story moving forwards. I'd love to hear it. How are you keeping that conflict active? If you have written a book or have a book or film that you particularly love that you think I could use as an example of writing advice, if you've watching my videos, I've been referencing all sorts of things, some indie books, some pop culture books, some movies, things like that, that can help people understand what writing advice I'm giving, because I think that if you have a frame of reference and the more you see it and the more you understand it, the easier it is to replicate it in your own writing. So if you have a recommendation for something that I could use for one of these videos, drop a comment below and let me know. As I say, if it's your book or film, that's absolutely fine. I'm not going to be criticizing you for like plugging your own stuff here. I would like to read it or see it and see what I can extrapolate that from that story to give to the audience to help them. Please go to my website, which is jjbarnes.co.uk. Over there you can find links to my book, my How to Write a Story book, which is out, as well as all my other work, my social media, the books that I have written, the film and TV work I'm doing. Come and say hi to me over there. I'm active on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram all the time, and I love hearing what other people are writing about and seeing that, so come to that. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I am bringing you writing advice Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 9:30 in the morning. I also have quite an extensive back catalogue of writing advice that I've done both by myself for different ages and with my writing partner Jonathan. So there's loads of writing advice here using different references, different film, different TV, different books, things that will hopefully help this advice that I'm giving you sink in a way that will make you confident enough to use it in your own writing. Thank you very much, and I'll be back again soon. Bye.